Biofriendly podcast. It's the Biofriendly podcast.
Wow, I really feel like we're moving on up in the world, dude. This is
We
great.
got fancy new chairs.
We got fancy new chairs.
All we need is a sign
Yes.
that says America.
America.
No, that says green biofriendly.
No, we're gonna say biofriendly, right?
Biofriendly.
But I'm excited about the sign, but I'm also like, oh man, I just figured out this really great angle, and now depending on how large the sign is, I may have to push back because we're gonna want to have the sign in the shot.
We'll just have to maybe move our chairs.
Okay.
Just forward a little bit.
Just move your chairs. It's that simple.
Move your chairs.
Don't make that big of a deal out of it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We talked the whole night through.
Last week, very important topic.
Very important topic.
Very good discussion with Cousin Steve, who came on and did a great job breaking it down.
Way to go, Cousin Steve.
That was awesome. Thank you, Steve Ryan. Thank you, all the
We appreciate
Ryans, all the Carols,
all the family members down under.
All the Hawkings, everybody for jumping in and giving us your 2 cents.
Yeah, and our heart still goes out to those in Australia fighting these fires that seem to be going endlessly.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it was a very, very good episode. I loved having him on and hearing his perspective. Yeah. And we just hadn't had a guest caller in a while. I feel like we're going to have more of those now, though.
Yeah, everybody wants to be on the show.
Everybody wants to be on the show.
But
I had DiCaprio on hold the other day, and I was like,
we told him no.
Wait in line.
We got Steve Ryan.
Wait in line, buddy.
Sorry, Mr. Gore.
That's right. You got to wait your turn like everybody else.
You'll get your chance.
You'll get your chance,
but
buddy.
Not in front of Steve Ryan. Not in front of Steve Ryan. But great. It was awesome. I'm glad we did it. I do think that we need to give our poor audience a break from...
Give them a breath.
From serious
Give them a moment to pause.
They were a little bit... That was a little intense.
Well, you didn't warn me of that, so I found the most depressing subject... I'm kidding. No,
right.
I actually...
Things you should have said before we started the podcast.
Right. No, this is actually... this is fun because you want to tell the story as to how, the subject that we're about to discuss came about?
Yes.
Please do.
My adorable, amazing son, Owen, he said to me, you know what you should talk about in the podcast because it isn't fair? What? He said, how... less attractive endangered species don't get as much attention as the cute endangered species. And I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, that's wonderful and
great.
Hilarious and an adorable observation that the ugly animals don't get the same play as the handsome ones. It's kind of like humanity.
Yeah, you texted me that as an idea, and I thought it was so great. And I'm glad we're doing on that because, when I started, this is what's funny. You said the less attractive animals, which is a very nice way to say it. But the truth is the ugly animals, right?
It's the ugly animals.
The ugly animals that people kind of forget about because when we decided to do this subject, I started researching in the wrong way.
Okay.
And you want to know why?
What did you do?
I said, tell me the most critically endangered species.
Okay.
That was the wrong way to go because there's way too many. Unfortunately, there's just
not awful.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's like I typed that in, and the list of critically endangered species. The list was, there's no way we could cover it in 20 podcasts. It was very lengthy. Not to be a bummer, but there's a lot of species out there that are endangered. But the interesting thing is, to Owen's point, fundraisers and all of these charities and organizations, they tend to get the most money and the most contributions and the most preservations. Preservations. I didn't mean that. Sorry, I meant preservations.
That's a good word. It's like perseverance preservation. It's like the most persevering through their preservation.
That's a word that I've just made up.
Preservation.
Gorillas. Pandas,
elephants,
giraffes, turtles, all the things.
Rhinos are getting
black
some play.
rhinos. Yeah. A lot of the cute animals that end up on tote bags.
Yeah,
they are the ones that everybody's like, we got to save the pandas.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the Aussie animals get pretty good play too. The Tasmanian devil gets some support.
Yeah. So the adorable animals get a lot of attention, and so when I went seeking, rather than just search the amount of endangered species there are, which there are a lot, which is not good news.
No.
But there are so many amazing organizations that are fighting to protect species. But there are definitely a list of the ugliest animals that are endangered that we're going to talk about on this show. And so that's absolutely a thing. But one thing I was surprised by, there wasn't an organization really. There is one thing, I'm about to get into that, but there's not really an organization that specializes in the ugly animals.
Do you think that we should combine our tree counting
Yes.
organization?
I'm glad you said it.
With the ugly animal? Yeah?
100%. And I think it would be funny if it was phrased like the less attractive species organization. We're trying to be kind. We're not just going to flat out call them the ugly animals because they're just less attractive.
Their mothers love them.
Their mothers love them animals, something like that. We should combine the Johnny Appleseed organization with this, and we could count trees and then save the animals that have great personalities.
The animals that have great personalities.
So your son was right on. There is a wealth of information about certain species that are out there, and the one guy started something in 2012.
Okay,
it's called the Ugly Animal Preservation Society.
Really?
So and this is in England.
Really? We should send him some money.
I know. Well, and it sounds like it's not so huge that would be difficult. I'd love to reach out to him, see if he'd call in.
Let's get him
right?
on.
Yeah, because
are you kidding?
Honestly, he started in 2012, and it's a comedy night.
Okay.
So that's what it is. It's actually, so it basically says the Ugly Animal Preservation Society is a comedy night with a conservation twist, founded in Great Britain by biologist, writer, and TV presenter Simon Watt to raise the profile of animal species which lack traditional, aesthetically appealing characteristics.
Aesthetically
appealing characteristics.
Animals with great personalities.
Animals with great. So this thing has been
or
going on.
a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you can still get some attention.
Yeah. So I know this. Some of these less attractive species drive really nice cars, and you would not believe the attention they get.
Yeah.
And
they're rocking. They're rocking with poodles in the passenger seat. I mean, they're like, they're having no trouble with the species.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but this is a comedy night that looks like it goes on once a year, and it's gotten more attention over the years because some celebrities have tweeted out. Like Simon Pegg and Stephen Fry have tweeted or mentioned in their social media about this thing. So it's gotten a little bit of attention, but it sounds like every year they do a comedy night or a couple times a year where they raise money to help the ugly animals.
Let's get them on and let's give them some money.
Wouldn't that be great?
Let's do it.
We should definitely. I love what it says in the description. It says, in part, it is based on the belief that conservation of charismatic megafauna. Is that not the greatest band name ever?
Charismatic megafauna. Oh my God.
Charismatic megafauna.
That is good.
Because it said charismatic megafauna like pandas. Every website I went to, by the way,
just hates pandas.
In a way. They do hate pandas. One guy even said, he was like, first of all, it's like pandas don't even want to be saved. He was almost upset by it because they're always the highest on the list. Yeah. And everybody thinks the panda's adorable, but all these conservation efforts is as if the pandas are like, yeah, well, nah, we'll just die out anyway. They don't really want to survive.
We're going to do what we want to do.
We want to just
you're not going to stop us from doing what we want to do.
Sit here and eat bamboo. And So this, I had a lot of fun digging in. So let's dive into some aesthetically less pleasing to the eye.
Cannot wait.
Yeah.
Are you going to put in some overlays so people can see the in the video?
Oh, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. So I will.
This time you got to go to the video.
You got to go to the video because you got to see some of these creatures. Okay.
Yeah. The Facebook one is a little more popular, but the YouTube one is good too.
Yeah. The Facebook, we always drop this on the Facebook, the Biofriendly Planet Facebook. That episode every Thursday. The video is on Facebook. I also link to it on the Painless Green. I usually link to the full episode in a lot of different places, and it's on YouTube, of course. So you could go to subscribe to Biofriendly Planet on YouTube. But you should definitely, if you only listen to the show, this might be a fun one to pop in because I'll definitely throw the graphics in there. So right out of the bat, there's a lot of frogs that are in trouble.
Wait.
Frogs get in trouble.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Frogs aren't ugly.
Yeah, well, I don't think so either. I think frogs are cute.
Frogs are adorable.
But they're listed on here.
Kermit's a frog.
I know. And I think Kermit's very handsome.
So they're saying that just because they're frogs, they're ugly? That's Fracist?
That's against frogs.
Frogcist?
Frogsist. The golden poison dart frog.
Well,
The golden poison dart frog. Now this is
he's probably just been pissing too many people off.
totally. That you nail on the head. Meet one of the most poisonous creatures on Earth.
Yeah.
Native to Colombia, just one little golden dart frog has enough venom in its 1-inch body to kill 10 fully grown men.
Oh my God! No wonder people keep killing them.
Right?
Like I don't. No, I'm okay if this one's endangered. That's what they're saying.
So it's no one's entirely sure how that potency is created, since they eat more flies and termites than arsenic or cyanide. But the poison does stem from the. So I thought this was fascinating. The poison stems from the frog's natural diet, because the ones that have been raised in captivity, on a diet that we've given them, they're non-toxic.
What?
Yeah. So it's only something that they're eating out there in the world that's causing them to have that amount of poison.
Do you ever wonder that
wild?
if we ate enough bugs
would be
and
poisonous?
enough, like if we could have superpower of being able to just spit on people and kill them?
Just like alien, like acid spit or something?
What do they say the diet was?
It says so they eat more flies and termites than arsenic or cyanide. They eat the bugs.
They eat the bugs.
But if they are raised in a lab and given whatever we give them, they don't end up being toxic.
So what if the secret is to just eat a lot of termites and bugs?
That's the secret, man.
And then you've got super spit. You're a hero.
That would be amazing.
You could go around saving the day.
You could be megafauna, charismatic megafauna. So if maybe pandas ate a little bit more bugs, they could become like venomous pandas.
And then people be afraid of them.
The venomous pandas.
And then they would fall down the list. Maybe
Totally.
knock them down a peg.
Yeah. So I just cannot believe that frog could kill 10 men.
I can't believe that you raise them in captivity and you can't.
I know,
That's
right?
amazing.
I know. Take the one that's been raised in captivity and put him out in the wild with the rest of them, and they're just like, "You're non-toxic." Okay, so there was on the list of endangered species. There was a lot of frogs, but that was one that when I read that I was fascinated by.
So he's more dangerous than ugly, I thought.
Yeah.
Because
so they should have.
When you see the picture, here's the picture right now in the screen in front of you.
Yeah.
As you can see, he's a frog.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of bright.
Yeah, but is that?
yeah.
I mean,
It's not ugly.
I feel like whoever's responsible.
The standards of this blogger are very high. By the way, this is a HuffPost article. I guess I should, of course, give credit to that. Sarah Boboltz. Yeah. 11 animals we may allow to go extinct because they're not cute and fuzzy.
Okay.
So then next is the short-tailed albatross. So
short-tailed albatross.
Yeah, the albatross is stuff of maritime legend and classic poetry.
What do people have against shortness? That's what I want to know.
I would like to know that as well, as a not tall male.
I just, so he's got a short tail.
Yeah, right?
I mean, that's just...
Come on.
That's,
cut the albatross some slack.
I feel like people are being kind of like nitpicky on these poor animals.
Yeah.
You got a short tail, so I'm not going to preserve you.
They shouldn't call him a short-tailed albatross. They should call him it's just fine-tailed albatross. Delightfully average albatross.
His tail has a terrific personality. Albatross.
Yeah, can we dial back the descriptors of these animals?
His tail has such a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Albatross.
So these birds are stunningly elegant, it says, and almost prehistorically massive. Your average short-tailed albatross is about 3 feet long, with a wingspan of over 7 feet.
So he's like, ladies.
Yeah.
My tail might be
short,
that
but look
short,
at me.
but the
Look
rest
at me.
of me.
I go to the gym, which needs to sail over the Pacific towards its breeding grounds. Unfortunately, these breeding grounds are where most short-tailed albatross meet their demise in the mid-1900s, when Japanese hunters started harvesting the birds for their feathers, which women across Europe had deemed exceedingly fashionable. So they did some damage.
So they don't like their tails, but they like their feathers.
They like their feathers, yeah. Picky.
Golly.
So the albatrosses...
Okay, so let's just stop doing that.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, guys, stop doing that.
Hey.
I think they have stopped doing that, but unfortunately, they really knocked down the population, and it says they've rebounded some.
Somewhat, okay.
But they still could use some help. So lay off the albatross.
Okay.
And then this is the Orinoco crocodile.
Orinoco, that is a pretty...
That's a gnarly looking beast right there.
Gnarly looking...
Right there.
Beast.
The largest predator in South America, a massive croc that used to number in the millions
really?
along the Orinoco River in Colombia and Venezuela. It's still in jeopardy due to the whims of fashionable ladies and gents. Jeez, are we seeing a trend
Have
here?
you noticed how the fashionable ladies are responsible for like 700% of all endangered species?
This one also says the ladies and gents. So this one, like, the ladies may have been responsible for the albatross feathers, but this time it's the guys
The
and
gents
the
are in there
girls.
too.
They're
Okay.
in there too. Everybody, it says.
So I can't blame ladies for all of the endangered
Yeah,
species.
it's not
That's
all
an
the ladies.
inaccurate statement.
It is everybody.
You're wrong, Noel. Okay.
No, but it does always say fashionable.
Yeah, so fashionable people.
So let's blame fashionable people, not just
Yeah.
men and women, but the ones that like care about how good they look.
Yeah.
Went out and were like, hey, I want to wear crocodile skin all day, every day. Which is like, what? Like, if I see somebody wearing crocodile skin now, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
It's not fashionable.
No, man. And they don't. Crocodile skin underpants are the worst.
Very uncomfortable.
They just don't fit the
Very
way
uncomfortable.
the salesman says.
I got rid of all of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mainly because, Charismatic Megafauna as a band, we don't like to wear
No, I mean it's sort of against what we're fighting for.
what we're fighting
As
for,
a band.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Drunk Husband, however,
Drunk Husband,
our other band,
which is our band.
that's
Yeah.
our dad band. That
Yeah.
they would probably wear the
They would totally wear crocodile pants. Faux.
faux.
Yes, they wouldn't be real.
Yeah.
So they're in trouble.
Okay.
Then Muscles of North America. And this is not like...
This isn't the organization that protects people who love fitness in their arms.
This isn't LA Fitness. This isn't 24-Hour Fitness or Gold's Gym. Muscles of North
It's
America.
not the march that we went to out on Sepulveda.
Yeah, this isn't...
Where all the buff guys in
Yeah,
Speedos.
this isn't Venice Beach Muscles of North America.
Okay.
This is muscles as in that right there.
Those muscles.
Those mussels. There are about 300 species of mussels inhabiting the North American continent, and about 70% of them are extinct or endangered. According to one estimate from the U.S. Geological Survey, they come with awesome names: sheep nose, spectacle case, Higgins eye, fat pocketbook. These are
Fat pocketbook.
Right.
Higgins eye.
Yeah.
Is that like after Magnum PI?
I don't know, but it says sheep nose, spectacled case, Higgins eye, and fat pocketbook, which I think fat pocketbook is probably doing fine on the endangered species
he's
list.
gotta be.
He's got a fat pocketbook.
'Cause he's
right?
like, I'm all right.
I know I'm not that attractive, but have you heard what they call me? Fat pocketbook. So let's go.
The lady muscles, they still pay attention to old Mr. Fat Pocketbook.
Buy something off of Sky Mall, my treat, because I got a fat pocketbook. So yeah. So those muscles.
I can see how some people could construe that muscle as ugly.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
but
just-
there's something about the coloration. I don't know, man.
I mean, I think everything is beautiful. In all honesty,
You're so awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So there's so many animals that I kind of want to touch on some of the bigger stories here because
talk on the ugly stories. That's what we care the most about.
yeah, the ugly stories exactly. So that's why I don't want to run out of time because there's a lot.
Okay.
So this one, this is here we go. These were voted the ugliest. Now this was from a video from the National Geographic.
Right.
And this actually says, according to the Ugly Animal Preservation Society.
Okay.
So this is from that guy's organization.
Yeah.
This is their top 5. So I don't know if it's going to play the music. Probably isn't. The public voted these endangered. The proboscis monkey.
Okay, pause on that.
Okay,
So,
males have large noses, which may help them attract females. So these are the monkeys that you've seen
yeah,
before.
with the big old
Yeah,
floppy nose.
It looks like
they look like this.
It's like a water balloon that's half empty, dangling from their face, basically. And that I've always thought those things are hilariously adorable.
Right.
So I don't
Well,
think
they're
it's that ugly.
hilariously ugly, which makes them adorable.
Yes, because ugly can mean cute.
It's like when something's so hot it gets cold.
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
Right. So these monkeys are so ugly, they're
cute.
Cute again.
Yeah. I feel like some mornings I look at myself and I think I kind of look like a proboscis monkey. So maybe I feel a little biased towards their attractiveness. I just got to shower and put myself together and tie my nose back.
Tie
a little
back
bit.
your proboscis?
Yeah, my proboscis nose. So that was one. So you've probably seen these monkeys before. Okay, next is the Titicaca water frog.
Oh, the Titicaca water frog.
Do you know
Now
about the
that's an ugly animal.
Yeah, that is an ugly animal.
That is great. Now, if you're going to be a frog, see, that's what I'm talking about. Now, look, see, this other
Yeah.
frog, he was poisonous,
Yeah.
but this frog looks like someone stretched him
Yeah.
and
yeah.
then let go. And it's
Yeah. This frog's excess skin allows it to breathe underwater for long periods of time.
I mean, that's useful.
Yeah.
Right? Like the proboscis guy's got the big nose for the ladies.
Right,
And
and
then
this
this one's
is-
got the floppy skin so he
This
can breathe.
guy's got a built-in blanket, basically.
I
So, like,
mean-
if you're like, hey, I want to snuggle, he's like, just climb on under here.
It's amazing that some of these, these animals struggle to find
agree.
mates.
I agree. So the Titicaca, which is a great name.
It's a good name.
I don't know if I know any other stories behind. No. I'm going back there. I just was wanting to know if I found another thing about the Titicaca, like any facts about it, because the video doesn't say much more than the loose skin thing. Oh, wait, yeah, there it is. The Titicaca water frog is also nicknamed the scrotum frog.
Oof.
Yeah, so that might be one of the things that goes
do we have
against.
to, do we have to bleep that?
That's what I wanted to know. I feel like it's a medical stat. So
It's a medical stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll leave it alone.
So kids, ask your parents what a scrotum is.
Okay. All right, back to the video. Sorry, that was my bad. Up next, after the Titicaca frog, we have the. I don't even know how to say this one.
Wow.
This is the
Axolotl.
Axolotl.
Usually, I mean, like I can in
Latin America.
in Aztec society, the X is a ch.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's AX.
I would say axolotl because the TL is also. It seems like an Aztec name.
Yeah, AXOLOTL.
Or maybe Mayans too.
Yeah,
Also
but
sometimes.
axolotl. I bet you did it perfectly. It says the feathery protrusions on each side of its head are gills.
Wow.
So that's an image of that one right there.
That's
that
a
one's
weird looking animal.
weird looking
but
animal, right?
Yeah, glad we paid attention to it.
Yeah. Here's one called the kakapo.
Kakapo.
Kakapo. Are you familiar
Wow,
with this
I'm
one?
not sure if it's a beaver or a bird.
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. It's a flightless bird.
Oh,
So look, this gentle flightless bird can grow to be more than 2 feet long, weigh 13 pounds, and live about 95 years.
Wow.
So look at it right there. It's kind of got kind of an owlish.
he's sort of owly, sort
Yeah.
of. Hey, what an interesting sort of beavery, sort of bear-like, but yellow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a cool looking bird.
Yeah.
It'd be sad to see that one go.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I get the ugliness on. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but very cool.
That one showed up on a lot of lists.
Okay.
So I think that one's a front runner in terms of. Oh, and by the way, back to the axolotl.
Yeah.
Here, the one that we did before. So remember, it says the axolotl, a very rare salamander, are found in the wild in just one lake in Mexico. Pollution, the pet trade, and capture for research has threatened the species. They're unfortunately, this is a bummer. They're experimented on by scientists hoping to unlock the secrets behind the axolotl's ability to regrow their limbs. So they got kind of like a superhero.
Well, if you kill them all, you're never going to figure it out.
You're never going to be able to figure it out.
Boy,
right?
you jerks.
Jerks. Agreed. Okay, so this next one, everybody's going to be familiar with this one. And I'm glad that this is oh no, did my video start over? It did. It kept playing. Well,
It's okay, though, because you memorized the list in your research.
I did. I know which one it is.
Okay.
I already know.
What
it's
is
the
it?
number one animal.
What is it?
If you had to guess, it gets the most press as being one of the most hideous things on Earth. And I want to talk to the audience about it real quick. It's the blobfish.
The blobfish.
Yes, and I'm going to get you an image of it. This
Okay.
is what's not fair about the blobfish. This image came online.
Is it up yet? Can I point my finger for the blobfish?
Not yet.
No, it's not
No,
up yet.
because I want you to be able to see it when the video
When they
comes
see
out.
it.
Yeah. So
So you have to watch. We have to wait through an ad now because of your refreshing.
because of my unprofessional behavior
So we're
here,
sitting here on a live podcast in front of all these fans, desperate for information, and we have to wait through an ad
call now.
for National Geographic.
Donors are waiting. You can help the less attractive Animals with Good Personality Foundation that
Yes.
Noel and I have just started.
Yes.
No, so
Unlike
there it
that
is.
stupid charismatic megafauna.
There it is. Unlike stupid. Oh, can I fast forward? Yes, I can. Sweet.
Yes.
Okay, so we just got through the axolotl. Then we're
Yes.
on the kookaburra or whatever this one was called. I can't remember.
We are nailing it.
You're nailing it. Okay, blobfish.
Wow, he's
Okay.
just sad. He just
There's the image.
He just
Okay.
looks sad.
Okay, so but here's the
poor
crazy
guy.
thing. Here's the crazy thing about the blobfish. I don't know if you know this or if I'm finally going to share something that Noel wasn't aware of. The Ugly Animal Preservation Society's mascot. So they have virtually no bones or muscles. The first image of a blobfish was shown in the world, and everybody was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
And everybody,
Can we point now?
yeah, you
Show-
can point. Oh, it's up.
It's
up. You can
okay.
see it now.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "Good." Now here's what people didn't realize when they showed this. That's not what the fish looks like.
What was that? Was
That is what the fish looks like when you take him out of an incredibly deep ocean and bring him up to pressurized air. So he deflated and
that poor guy.
and got crushed by he has no bones or muscles.
Right.
And is meant to exist way deep down in the ocean. And then the moment they brought him to the surface, it just completely wrecked his entire bodily structure. And that's what the fish looks more like.
Way
these
uglier.
Way
uglier
well,
in
they
its
still.
natural state.
I've actually seen a better picture than this.
That fish
right here.
That fish looks like some kind of like a monster in a dream.
Yeah, it's very, very. Yeah, it looks like if it was giant, like the size of like a ship, we would be terrified.
We'd be yes,
Yeah.
because yes. I mean, he's
Yeah.
not. That's not a. That's. I mean, I get why he's not
Yeah, he's not handsome.
listed as the most.
He's got a great personality.
Totally great personality. But here's what's weird about it is I'm interested to know what happens because if you're deep in the water, there's more pressure.
No, so it says. Sorry, I did it reversed. It says with virtually no bones or muscles, its body gets structural support from its extremely pressurized underwater environment. So what's keeping it together is the pressurized underwater, deep down. That's what's keeping it all held together. And then the moment you take it up, it's like nothing's holding this fish together anymore.
Wow.
And so it just sinks like Jello.
So he just turns into that sad.
And so that's sad. Which you got to admit that was the saddest looking thing.
Oh, I
ever.
felt a lot. That's good
Right.
sympathy photo for the poor blobfish.
Yeah, and that is the mascot of the Ugly Animal Preservation Society
Okay.
because if you've seen that picture before. So I just feel like that poor animal didn't get a fair chance because
Yeah.
if we all went and swam, a couple miles under the surface of the ocean and we saw the blobfish, you'd be like,
Then we'd be like,
it's-
oh my God, he's horrifying.
Yeah, no, you'd be like, it's kind of an ugly looking fish, but you wouldn't
Yeah.
be like, oh my god, that's
Yeah.
disgusting.
I gotta be honest, I'm a little reverse on this.
You liked it better when it would look
I
like a
thought
pile
that
of goo?
When he was a pile of goo, he at least had like that sad old man thing going for him. Like he looked like a sad old guy who was just
Yeah.
like, I'm just ready to pass on to the next life.
This air is too loosey-goosey
Right?
for
But when
me to
he's-
live.
When he's down deep and he's all structured together, I'm just like, that's just kind of a.
Noel likes his blobfish nice and saggy.
I like my blobfish saggy. That's nothing wrong. Now this next one that
Is
was
cute.
right there is.
I actually think it's cute.
Okay, this was the inspiration for the article for Owen.
Was it really?
Is the I lemur.
I'm so glad because it came up all the time. So I lemur right there.
That's the I lemur. This is who Owen wants to protect. This is why.
So he saw this one and was like, "Hey, this
like-
thing's endangered and nobody's paying attention
Look at
right
his
now."
big old ears and his little,
Yeah.
his spiky fingers, and he doesn't have a lot of hair, and he's
Yeah.
got big old eyes, and
Yeah.
I can see why people are frightened and worried that
He's kind of awesome though. He's kind of gremlin-y.
He is kind of
Right?
I feel like if you got to know him, you'd find him adorable.
Yeah. Do you know what an eye really looks like? It looks like that thing that sits by Jabba the Hutt's side.
Yeah. Yes.
That you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? That which made an appearance in The Mandalorian recently.
Yeah. Oh, did he? I haven't.
Yes,
I've
yes.
only watched the first two.
Oh,
I'm a slow watcher. I like to let him.
I get it.
I like to ease
I
into
get
my
it.
shows.
So spoiler alert: the guy from Jabba the Hutt.
He's gonna show up.
Yeah, he's not a major character or anything. But anyway, the eye, which is a great name for an animal, by the way. Eye.
Yeah.
Rat-like teeth and really long fingers to skewer grubs out of trees, and yet still there's something to love about the eye. These lemur live on the fauna-rich island of Madagascar, but locals believe the eye are harbingers of evil and are known to kill them on sight.
That's why they're endangered. Because
I don't-
the locals are like,
I mean,
that's awful.
I know. So I think what's a bummer is here, Pixar, listen up. I think you need to make a movie about an eye that is so nice.
Yeah.
And so sweet.
Yeah.
But the people of Madagascar are convinced that he's a harbinger of evil.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just
He's got to bridge the gap.
He's got to bridge the
He's
gap.
got to save the people of Madagascar.
Yeah.
From like a volcano or something.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he brings peace.
Yeah.
To all of the lemurs on the island.
I think we've got a hit film on our hands. And so Pixar, Disney, who are you listening? Make that movie. Make the eye movie because they need some help. They
That's
need to be
awful.
cute.
That he's endangered because people are like, it's evil.
It's
Kill
evil.
it."
That thing's evil. Gotta
Man,
kill it.
That is the downside to not being a charismatic megafauna.
If you're not charismatic megafauna,
Yeah.
there was a comic I saw, or it might have been a comic strip.
Yeah.
I think it said something about like rats have got to think every day they're one fluffy tail away from being a squirrel. You know what I mean? Like every day of their life, like they're not that ugly. They just got doomed with this pink fleshy tail,
Yeah.
and the rest of them is a lot like a squirrel or a mouse. It's not that bad. It's just that one part that you kind of make them. You're kind of like, ugh. But if they had really bushy tails, you'd be like, oh hey squirrel, come here. And rats every day are like these tails.
Although I'm gonna stick up for squirrels for a minute here.
Okay.
There's a fluffy.
No, I'm not dooming squirrels. I wasn't saying anything bad about squirrels.
No. I'm saying that like they need to keep their place as charismatic megafauna for a reason.
Charismatic megafauna.
They're not like because it's not just the tails. Like the rats have very pointy noses and sharp. I'm gonna bite your finger off teeth.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and that I think adds a little bit to the.
That's true. But if you saw Ratatouille, you also could see that they can cook a really nice.
That's true.
A nice meal, a really nice pasta. The rats make out of pasta.
I'm not anti-rat at all. I think rats are not on the list for a good reason because there's plenty.
There are plenty of them, and they do spread disease.
Yeah. The plague is their fault.
It is all their fault.
It's the fault of people not bathing.
Yeah.
But they were the ones who were spreading those fleas around.
Yeah.
So go rats.
Yeah, go rats. No, actually, there's so many more.
Yeah.
I don't think we have time to go into some of these, but to mention, the II popped up on every single list I looked at about unattractive and endangered. So clearly they're way up there, as well as the ones that we covered earlier. But we have, the IIs, and then it says the humorless hyena.
The humorless hyena.
Yeah.
Can I see that picture?
Yeah. There it is right there.
Oh, yeah.
Humorless hyena.
Right here, folks.
Yeah, right there.
Wow.
So humorless hyena. So it says fewer than 8,000 of these scavengers still traipse across southern Africa. First of all, they're traipsing. Yeah. So that's very delicate way,
I'm surprised that something that is humorless would traipse, because you'd think that something that's humorless would
just walk,
would just kind of
stroll,
just get.
But no traipsing for your humorless.
Wow, so like they say they're humorless because they don't have that kind of natural wicked smile that the other ones have.
I'm guessing. I wasn't able to research, but if it's called the humorless hyena, I'm guessing they just don't laugh. Yeah, they're like a tough crowd. So,
what is that?
That is called the unusual uakari.
Okay.
So
the unusual uakari up above us.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is like, first of all, he looks rad.
Yeah.
I think
it's cool. It looks like it's wearing a mask almost, right?
Yeah. But definitely unusual. Definitely not your traditional charismatic megafauna.
Yeah. It says swinging from the trees in western Brazil and eastern Peru, this rare red-faced monkey is becoming an increasingly uncommon sight.
Oh.
So that's one of them, and then this is the last one we'll do, and then we'll go digging for dugongs. Global dugong is known as the sea cow. So here's a picture of it right there.
Okay, yeah, sea cow.
The global population of the dugong or sea cow remains unknown, but the vulnerable marine mammal roams the coastal areas of nearly 50 countries, the tropical areas of the eastern hemisphere, making the status difficult to track. Well, so that one's a weird one because it says like we think it might be in trouble because we don't see him very often, but we also can't find him. You know what I mean,
so there's that.
There's that too.
Yeah, it is a weird looking cow though.
Weird looking cow.
I haven't seen a lot of cows that look like that.
Yeah. So it's definitely a swimming cow.
Definitely an unusual cow. Well, all right. So
what?
First of all,
what?
I
what do you want to say?
I want to give it up to the animals with a good sense of humor, who have to find another way to get their attention and who have to get a little bit of love, for to get some support to continue to exist.
Yeah.
And I'd like to lend biofriendly support to that. We will definitely try to get that
the Ugly Animal Preservation Society. We got to try to get in touch with that guy.
Get them on,
sure.
and let's definitely donate to support that because that is that's a very biofriendly kind of thing to do, right?
I agree.
So let's get into that. And for those of you who are listening, remember, just because that guy who's talking to you looks like he's got a butt for a face,
right,
doesn't mean that he doesn't have
great
feelings,
personality,
and the right to exist.
Yeah, has a lot of interesting things to share in this world. So butt faces have rights too.
Butt faces have rights, feelings, needs,
right?
And they can be very nice.
Right.
Yeah, and so can II lemurs.
Yeah. So Captain. But I'm really glad your son suggested this one because it was a fun one. This was a nice breath of fresh air because it is tragic to know that they're endangered and that they need help. And that's an important, serious message. I'm not taking away from that. That's a serious thing.
Well, no, it was good. We brought a lot of awareness.
Exactly.
I think people didn't know about any of this.
And I love, this from the bottom of my heart, the heart of my bottom, I love looking at animals. Actually, ugly ones, unattractive ones. I love animals. I'm just a big animal fan, and just having an episode where you're looking at pictures of these funny looking, hilariously weird, quirky, even poisonous animals. It just makes me smile, and I think that the whole world loves animals. Yeah. And I'm glad we brought some awareness.
I actually heard from a guy who heard from another guy who read from a source that was verified by another source that may not have been verified by any source, and this whole thing could be absolute nonsense.
Okay. And that's why we're going to talk about it.
So I'm going to talk about it as if it was scientific fact.
Done.
Okay, so
that's what the news does, so go ahead.
So my unsourced, completely scientific fact that I heard from a guy from, anyways, down the train, is that that we as a race, or as a species, with our eyes and with our sense and with everything else, what we perceive of as attractive is not necessarily what is attractive, although sometimes people say it's like, similar shaped
angular
faces
structure,
or like the right side same as left side, things like that.
Right.
Things like that. But what this importantly reliable source told me is that actually it has more to do with familiarity. And that's why when you put up in the 80s pictures of models who are tall and skinny and lean, that everybody wants to be dating somebody who's taller, skinny, and lean. And now it's a bit more about being natural, more full-figured, and so everybody wants to be natural and full-figured.
Oh, wow.
And that how, like, what people appreciate, like, you can see somebody on a movie who's like this breakout star, and like you see them the first one, you're like, I didn't notice anything particularly spectacularly attractive about them, but then a few movies later, you're like, that person's beautiful.
Yeah, and they start looking for types like that actor or actress.
And then it becomes attractive.
It becomes a look.
Right. So a lot of what is attractive, according to this unreliable piece of information that I have that I agree with.
Sounds pretty reliable.
Is that familiarity is key, and that's why it's important to talk to butt faces. Because if you actually get yourself involved in meeting people and knowing people and getting to understand them and getting to become friendly with different people, then you start to know what the person or animal is, and you get used to them, you get used to what they're about, you get to see them for what they are, and then you start to find what's attractive in them, and suddenly that becomes attractive. And so something that you once thought was ugly becomes beautiful.
And that is what we, the Biofriendly podcast, believe. So go out there and befriend some of these cute animals, except for the poisonous frog.
Yeah, the poisonous frog, unless he's domesticated and been fed
unless he's been eating
leaves.
like burgers or something, then
don't eat termites and bugs together.
Don't eat termites and bugs
that'll
together.
That'll make you a super murderer.
Yeah, you'll become, and always help the charismatic megafauna, but remember the lesser known animals with good personalities.
I'm glad you said that. We're not saying don't help the pandas. We're not saying
by all means.
We're not saying don't talk to Brad Pitt when he's in the room with you. Talk to him by all means.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Sure.
I have no problem with hanging out with charismatic megafauna.
Yeah.
Just remember the butt faces and the eye lemurs.
The animals with good personalities.
Also
need.
Just say hello.
Yeah.
Just give a little attention. Give a little hello, and let's support those who don't get the attention.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you for joining us this week on the Biofriendly podcast. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Noel.
We didn't do that at the top, so I figured we'd do it.
We should do it together.
Yeah, okay.
Good call.
All right, we are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment. And that's all we're doing.
And we got to start working on
You want to add some more?
I don't think we have any yet.
We don't have
when
any.
When it comes. Maybe, you know what? You know what?
What?
Charismatic megafauna.
Charismatic megafauna. So do we say that we're charismatic megafauna?
Your charismatic megafauna.
Your charismatic megafauna. I love it.
Yeah? Is that, or is it,
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Oh, no. This is the expression.
We got it.
We are more than just charismatic.
More than just charismatic megafauna.
So it's a beacon of light in a gloomy environment and more than just charismatic megafauna.
That's it. The new year starts with our first new slogan.
I love it. Yeah. See you guys next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.